Credits are rolling on a screen made of glass, watching the ghosts of our best moments pass. We didn't set fire to the bridge or the town. We just watched the sun as it finally went down. Your bags are by the door and they're packed with such care, like you're leaving us sorry in the cold morning air. I'm holding my breath while you're checking the time, watching a mountain we no longer climb. There's no breaking of glass, no shouting in the street, just the soft, muffled rhythm of a slow retreat. And it's a beautiful ending, a soft-spoken rain, the weight of your ghost like a stone on my neck. We're finishing the story with a graceful goodbye, with a smile on our lips and a hole in the sky. No smoke and no thunder, no bitter refrain, just the luxury of losing you in the soft falling rain. Yeah, we're doing it right, we're keeping it pending in the quiet destruction of a beautiful ending. You asked me for the keys and I handed them over. The smell of your perfume is still stuck in the clover. We're masterclass actors in a play with no script, walking on edges where the foundation slipped. I could have fought for you, I could have made a scene, but I'd rather be hollow than be jagged and mean. So I'm painting the trauma in colors of gold, mourning the legend that'll never be told. 'Cause it's a beautiful ending, a soft-spoken rain, the weight of your ghost like a stone on my neck. We're finishing the story with a graceful goodbye, with a smile on our lips and a hole in the sky. No smoke and no thunder, no bitter refrain, just the luxury of losing you in the soft falling rain. Yeah, we're doing it right, we're keeping it pending in the quiet destruction of a beautiful ending. Slam the door, drop a plate, give me something to feel, a physical bruise that makes the over feel real. But the carpet soaks the teardrops and the curtains hold the sigh. It's a 5-star performance for a permanent goodbye. A beautiful ending, and so quite broken. I'm standing in the hallway where your laughter used to bloom, but the silence is a tenant in every single room. I moved a heavy bookshelf, found a movie stub from May, a little scrap of us that didn't know it'd blow away. The coffee's getting colder and the morning's turning gray. I'm practicing the fine I'm supposed to say today, but the wallpaper is peeling where you used to lean your head, and I'm drowning in the volume of the things we never said. It's not the thunder or the lightning or the crashing of the glass. It's the quiet, steady shadow of the minutes as they pass. And I'm living in the hollow after your goodbye, searching for a signal in a dark and empty sky. The world is getting louder, but I've lost the melody. Now I'm just a witness to a ghost of you and me. I'm reaching for a heartbeat, I'm grasping at the air, trying to find a reason when you're really not there. Yeah, the music's over, but the ringing in my soul is the sound of a story. After the goodbye storm, I saw your sister's car today, and I almost waved my hand. Then I felt the cold reminder of the way we had to land. I've got a dozen text drafts that I'll never have the heart to send, full of jagged little questions about how we hit the end. I'm checking all the locks like I can keep the lonely out, but it's leaking through the floorboards and the water in the spout. I'm a master of the maybe, I'm a scholar of the wait, while I'm swinging on the hinges of a rusted shut gate. 'Cause I'm living in the hollow after your goodbye, searching for a signal in a dark and empty sky. The world is getting louder, but I've lost the melody. Now I'm just a witness to a ghost of you and me. I'm reaching for a heartbeat, I'm grasping at the you. I'm looking at the photo from that night in New Orleans, the one where we were laughing and we tore our favorite jeans. You said I'll never find a way to live a day without you, and I believe the silver and the gold I saw about you. But now I'm standing in the hall, just staring at the space where the forever used to be before you left this place. I'm checking all the letters that you tucked into the drawer, wondering if you meant them when you walked across the floor. The truth is like a shadow that's been stretched against the wall. It looked so big and solid till the light began to fall. And it was almost a promise, almost a dream, almost a fabric, but we're coming at the seam. You said always with a whisper, like a secret in the dark, but there wasn't any fire, just a cold and dying spark. I'm living in the nearly, I'm dying in the trap, stuck inside the echo of a beautiful soft cry. Yeah, we were almost the truth, almost the sky, but looking back now, it was almost a lie. Saw you at the station and you looked the other way, like we weren't once the reason for the breaking of the day. But was it easy to pretend that we were written in the stars while you were busy building up the cages and the bars? I'm rereading your messages, the misuse and the mores. They sound like hollow wood against 1,000 closing doors. You play the part so perfectly, you never missed a beat, while the ground was turning into glass beneath my tired feet. 'Cause it was almost a promise, almost a dream, almost the fabric, but we're coming at the seam. You said always with a whisper, like a secret in the dark, but there wasn't any fire, just a cold and dying spark. I'm living in the lily, I'm dying in the tribe, stuck inside the echo of a beautiful soft cry. Yeah, we were almost the truth, almost the sky, but looking back now, it was almost a lie. Did you believe it for a second? Did you feel the heavy weight? Or was I just a passenger on a train that's running late? I'd rather have the never than the maybe and the kind of a love that leaves a jagged little almost in my mind. It's almost alive. I'm not starting it again, just a story that was almost true. I'm standing in the hallway of the house we used to own, with a suitcase full of memories and a heart made out of stone. You said it once in April, when the rain was hitting hard, and you said it once again today, standing in the yard. But the first one was a warning, a maybe in the air, and this one is a hollow space that's never gonna care. I'm caught inside the echo of the person I used to be, trying to find the exit from this you and from this me. The calendar is frozen on the day the music died. I'm just a lonely runner with no place left to hide. I'm stuck between two goodbyes, hanging by a thread, living in the static of the things we never said. The first one broke my spirit, the second broke my soul. Now I'm just a fragment of a heart that once was whole. I'm waiting for the silence to finally turn to gold, in this heavy, empty middle where the story's getting old. Yeah, I'm shivering in the sunlight of a pair of closing eyes, stuck between two goodbyes. I saw your old blue sweater on the hook behind the door. It doesn't smell like home or like forever anymore. You've got a different phone number, a different way to smile, and I've been treading water in this ocean for a while. I thought that once you said it, the pain would finally peak, but it's a slow creeping trauma that makes every muscle weak. I'm rereading the letters where you swore you'd never go, while I'm watching your taillights disappear into the snow. 'Cause I'm stuck between two goodbyes, hanging by a thread, living in the static of the things we never said. The first one broke my spirit, the second broke my soul. Now I'm just a fragment of a heart that once was whole. I'm waiting for the silence to finally was a fraction, a jagged little line. The other was the earthquake that took everything of mine. How many times can one heart finish being done before it realizes that the race has already been won? I'm staring at the digital numbers on the stove, watching the minutes bleed away from the treasure trove of the hours we spent acting like the world was standing still, while the shadow of the ending climbed the bottom of the hill. I held your hand a little tighter than I probably should, trying to turn the temporary into something good. But the lease was always signed in disappearing ink, and I'm standing on the edge of a kitchen sink, trying not to sink. We were a library book with a stamped out date, a beautiful story that was never meant to stay late. You was a borrowed time love, a high interest dream. Now I'm paying back the silence that every single seam. I knew the owner was coming to collect the keys, but I still fell for the always and the stay with me please. You weren't mine to keep, you were just mine to hold. A summer colored jacket for a heart that's turned cold. Yeah, the clock finally struck and the truth is sublime. I was living on a borrowed, beautiful time. I see the suitcase by the door like a period at the end of a sentence that I thought would finally truly bend. You're checking your watch while I'm checking my pulse, trying to find the rhythm in a world that's gone false. We spent the forever that we never really had. Now I'm just a victim of a good turn to bad. I'm checking my pockets for a second I can say, but I'm just a ghost in a house that we went and gave away. 'Cause it was a borrowed time love, a high interest dream. Now I'm paying back the silence at every single and the truth is sublime. I was living on a bone. Beautiful time. If I knew the repo man was coming for my soul, would I still have let you take the parts I thought were whole? I'd sang the line again, I'd take the heavy debt, just for one more Tuesday that I haven't finished yet. Borrowed time. Borrowed time. The interest is heavy, the account is all dry. I'm just a memory in a borrowed blue sky. Time's up. I'm staring at the neon buzzing out across the street, while the static in the bedroom makes the silence feel complete. I used to see the velvet in the shadows on the wall, back when you were gravity and I was glad to fall. Now the gold is leaked away from every corner of the room, and the garden that we planted is a gray and quiet tomb. I try to find the fire, try to find the burning red, but I only find the hollow of the things we never said. The spectrum's been broken, the prism is cracked, and there's no way to bring all the brilliance back. And it's colorless tonight, just the spectrum of the gray. Since you took the sunrise and you walked the other way, I'm living in the charcoal, I'm breathing in the slate, watching every always turn to yesterday and late. The world is high definition, but I'm fading out of sight, drowning in the middle of a colorless night. Yeah, the blue is gone and the green is just a lie underneath the pale and empty silver-plated sky. I saw your denim jacket hanging lonesome on the hook. It looks like a sketch from a half-forgotten book. I remember when your laughter was a yellow sun-drenched field. Now I'm just a scar that's never gonna be healed. I went to buy the groceries and I reached for your bread. Then I saw the world in sepia and I didn't understand how the thought then turns to vacuum, how the heat turns into frost, when the only map I had was the one that we both lost. 'Cause it's colorless tonight, just a spectrum of the gray. Since you took the sunrise and you walked the other way, I'm living in the charcoal, I'm breathing gold-plated sky. Paint me with your anger, stain me with your blame. Give me any pigment that doesn't feel the same as this heavy whitewash nothing, this achromatic hell, where I'm just the echo of a ringing noble bell. Just the absence of you. I'm standing in the hallway where the sunlight hits the floor, watching motes of nothing dance toward the bedroom door. I used to see a future in the way you'd lean your head. Now I'm just a witness to the things we never said. I moved the heavy dresser and I found a silver ring. Just a cold and hollow circle, just a tiny forgotten thing. It's funny how the mountains that we promised we would climb have crumbled into powder in a matter of some time. I'm breathing in the memories, they're heavy in my lungs, like the final dying verses of the songs we never sung. And I'm sweeping up the dust of us tonight, watching gray reflections in the pale morning light. There's no fire in the heart, there's no heart inside the shell, just the quiet drifting echoes of a long and slow farewell. You're a ghost in the curtains, you're the grit on the pain. I'm trying to find the always, but it's washing down the drain. It's a lonesome kind of house, it's a bitter kind of trust, when all that's left of forever is the dust of us. I saw your handwriting on a box inside the shed. Fragile handle carefully was the only thing it said. But we weren't very careful and we didn't handle well. friction turned the heaven into hell. Now I'm checking every corner, I'm checking every shelf, searching for a version of my old happy self. But I only find the residue of a love that didn't stay, being carried by the drafts into a long and empty day. Yeah, I'm sweeping up the dust of us tonight, watching gray reflections in the pale morning light. There's no fire in the heart, there's no heart inside the shell, just the quiet drifting echoes of a long and slum farewell. You're a ghost in the curtains, you're the grin on the pain. I'm trying to find the always, but it's washing down the drain. It's a lonesome kind of house, it's a bitter kind of trust, when all that's left of forever is the dust of us. I could open up the windows, I could let the wind blow through, but I'm terrified of losing the last little bit of you. Even if it's just the debris, even if it's just the gray, I'm not ready for the vacuum to take it all away. Was away, dust, just dust. I'm staring at the denim jacket slumped across the chair, looking for the heartbeat that I'm sure is still in there. The sunlight's hitting different, it's a cold and navy hue. Since the gold walked out the hallway and I'm left with only you. In the shadows of the kitchen, in the corners of the hall, I'm watching every always start to crumble and to fall. I used to see the sunrise in the way you'd say my name. Now the light is just a filter in a hollow wooden frame. There wasn't any thunder, there wasn't any rain, just a slow and steady washing of a deep cerulean stain. And I'm fading in blue, like a bruise upon the sky, waiting for the salt to finally leave my heavy eye. I'm living in the indigo, I'm breathing in the slate, hanging on the hinges of a rusted shut gate. The world is turning cobalt, the stars are turning cold, and I'm the saddest story that has ever been told. I'm losing saw my own reflection and I didn't understand how I've become a ghost in a sapphire-colored coat, with a lump of jagged lapis sitting heavy in my throat. You didn't break my heart with a hammer or a stone. You just let the fire die until I was all alone. Now the bed is like an ocean of a dark and restless sea, and I'm treading water waiting for the you inside of me. 'Cause I'm fading in blue, like a bruise upon the sky, waiting for the salt to finally leave my heavy eye. I'm living in the indigo, I'm breathing in the slate, hanging on the hinges of a rusted shut gate. The world is turning cobalt, the stars are turning cold, and I'm the saddest story that has ever been told. I'm losing all the color that I thought I ever knew. I'm just fading in blue. I'd give anything for black, I'd give anything for white, just to escape the aching of this neon lonely light. But the bruises won't surrender and the shadows won't let go. I'm just a winter garden that is buried in the snow. Fading in blue, fading in blue. The sun is coming up, but it's a lonesome shade of teal. I'm forgetting how the summer used to feel. Just blue, deep blue, without you. I'm standing in the kitchen where the light bulb's losing heart, a jagged little stutter as the shadows start to part. I reach to flip the switch, a habit in the bone. Forgot for half a second that I'm standing here alone. The hum of the refrigerator's the only song I know, since you packed the heavy boxes and you decided to go. I'm tracing every outline of the places you would stand. Now I'm just a hollow silhouette with nothing in my hand. The voltage is dropping, the signal's getting thin, and I don't know how to keep the over from coming in. And it's a flicker without you, a shivering in the dark, trying to find the fire in a dead and dying spark. I'm a heartbeat on a wire, I'm a ghost inside the hall, waiting for the final heavy shadow to fall. The world is high coffee from your favorite porcelain mug. I almost called your name to ask you how was work today. Then the silence hit me harder than the things you didn't say. I'm a master of the maybe, I'm a student of the way, swinging on the hinges of a rusted shut gate. Every time the house creaks, I think it's your key, but it's just the wind mocking, but only just me. 'Cause it's a flicker around you, a shivering in the dark, trying to find the fire in a dead and dying spark. I'm a heartbeat on a wire, I'm a ghost inside the hall, waiting for the final heavy shadow to fall. The world is high definition, but I'm fading into gray, losing all the brilliance of a long and golden day. Yeah, the light is getting tired, and I'm losing my view in the lonely little flicker. The flicker without you. Break the bulb, please just plunge me into black. Give me any kind of ending if I can't have you back. This stuttering of memory is shaking in the glass, is a slow motion torture as the hours start to pass. Flicker without you. Flicker without you. Yeah. I'm still right here, but I'm hard to see. Just a smudge on the window of what used to be. Flicker, stutter, burn. I'm still keeping the porch light burning through the rain, like a lighthouse for a ship that's already gone down in the main. I found your favorite book, the one with the dog-eared page. It's been sitting on the nightstand, growing old with a quiet rage. I still buy the groceries for two, then I stare at the shelf, and I end up eating dinner in a conversation with myself. The house is a museum of the things we used to do, and every corner is a trap leads me back to you. I'm building a kingdom, how the what ifs and whens. Just a lonely architect of a story that never ends. And if you stayed, would the garden still be green? Would we still be the best parts of the movie that we've seen? I'm living in the shadow of a life that didn't happen, watching the forever and the always slowly dampen. I wouldn't be this ghost, I wouldn't be this gray, searching for the sunlight in the middle of the day. Everything would be different, the colors and the grade, if you stayed. If you only would have stayed. I saw a car that looked like yours at the intersection of four, and for a heartbeat I forgot that you headed for the north. I almost felt the phantom of your hand upon the gear before the light turned green and the silence became clear. I wonder if the coffee tastes better where you are, or if you're looking at the same cold and different star. I'm a master of the maybe, I'm a student of the wait, holding on to hinges of a rusted shut gate. 'Cause if you stayed, would the garden still be green? Would we still be the best parts of the movie that we've seen? I'm living in the shadow of a life that didn't happen, watching the forever and the always slowly dampen. I wouldn't be this ghost, I wouldn't be this gray, searching for the sunlight in the middle of the day. Everything would be different, the colors and the gray, if you stayed. If you only would have stayed. We could have fixed the leaking roof and painted all the walls. We could have filled the echoes in these long and empty halls. I'd trade every someday and every single new for one more boring Tuesday, just sitting here with you. Clock is still ticked, and I'm just a memory that you went and picked to leave behind. If you stayed, but you didn't. I'm staring at the digital glow in the dead of the night, waiting for a typing to make everything right. Your name is still the shortcut on the face of my phone, but the silence in the receiver is a weight of its own. I've got a dozen drafts that I'm too scared to send, full of jagged little questions about where we both end. We're caught in the static, we're stuck in the pause, broken by the if and the maybe and the because. The line is wide open, but there's nothing to hear, just the dial tone ringing in my lonely ear. And I'm living a life that's been put on hold, watching the fire turn brittle and cold. I'm a heart in a lobby, a ghost in the queue, waiting for a signal to lead me back to you. It's not a goodbye, but it's not a stay. It's the torture of the night right now anyway. Yeah, the world's moving on, but I'm losing the phone. Just love on a bitter hold. I haven't changed the sheets, I haven't moved the chair. I'm still breathing in the molecules of your perfume in the air. You said you needed space, you said you needed time, but later is a mountain that I can't seem to climb. Are you happy in the quiet? Are you finding your breath while I'm measuring the distance of this slow social death? I'm a bookmark in a chapter that you've already read, hanging on the cliff of the things we never said. 'Cause I'm living a life that's been put on hold, watching the fire turn brittle and cold. I'm a heart in a lobby, a ghost in the queue, waiting for a signal to lead me back to you. It's not a goodbye, but it's not a stay. It's the torture of the night right now anyway. Yeah, the world's moving on, but I'm losing the phone. Just love on a bitter hold. Pick up the phone or just cut the wire, either drench me in rain or set me on fire. Anything's better than this hum in the dark, the waiting for a flame from a long dead spark. On the music is looping, the signal is weak. I'm losing the memory of how you speak. Still waiting, still here, still. I'm looking at the hooks where your jackets used to hang, still hearing the echo of the way the hallway rang. I bought the expensive coffee, the kind you always chose, but the steam just smells like ghost in the way your story goes. I sat in your favorite chair, trying to feel the weight, but I'm just a hollow tenant, showing up too late. The walls are the same shade of patience and sand, but they feel like a country I don't understand. The lease has my signature, the keys are in my hand, but I'm a stranger in a house that we both planned. And it's a lonesome kind of hollow, a bitter kind of air, when I'm surrounded by the things that you left right there. The towels in the bathroom, the books on the shelf. I'm losing your memory, I'm losing myself. I'm checking the locks, I'm checking the floors, but I'm just a guest behind all of these doors. The bed is a desert, the kitchen is cold, and nothing feels mine. Now that nothing feels yours. I saw your old notebook with the list of the dreams. Now it's just jagged edges and unraveling seams. I tried to watch the show that we started in June, but the colors are off and the dialogue's out of tune. I'm sleeping on your side just to find a little heat, but I'm just treading water in a 400 count sheet. Every corner I turn is a trap for my mind, looking for a person I'm not supposed to find. 'Cause it's a lonesome kind of hollow, a bitter kind, yeah, when I'm surrounded by the things that you left right there. The towels in the bathroom, the kitchen is cold and nothing feels mine. Now that nothing feels yours, I wanna paint it all black. I wanna tear down the drapes to stop all the shadows from taking your shapes. But if I erase the you from the home, there'll be nothing of me left here at all. Nothing feels yours. Toothbrush is gone. Nothing feels yours. Silence is mine. I'm living in a museum of a life that we led, searching for the us and the things we never said. Just a house, just a frame without your name. Nothing feels yours. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed we used to share, picking at a loose thread on the quilt you left right there. Started with a whisper, tiny jagged tear. Now the fabric of our always is dissolving in the air. I didn't hear a snapping sound, I didn't feel the blade. I just watched the tapestry begin to slowly fade, one stitch at a time, one day after the next, until I couldn't recognize the patterns in the text. There was no sudden lightning, no crash against the wall, just the soft rhythmic humming of a long and steady fall. And we're quietly unraveled, just a pile of tangled twine. I'm losing where your spirit ends and where to start with mine. We didn't break like glass, we didn't burn like fire. We just let the tension go until the heart began to tire. I'm holding on to ghosts of the colors that we knew, while I'm watching every fiber drift away from me and you. It's a lonesome kind of ending, being pulled apart by thread, quietly unraveled in the things we never said. I saw you in the kitchen, you were staring at the rain, with a look of gentle boredom that was sharper than the pain. We're still wearing the sweaters, we're still sharing the view, but the warmth is leaked out from the me and from the you. I reach for your shoulder and I find a hollow space, a fraying silhouette where I used to see your face. We become a masterclass in how to stay and go, a slow motion winter where the grass will never grow. 'Cause we're quietly unraveled, just a pile of tangled twine. I'm losing where your spirit ends and where to start with mine. We didn't break like glass, we didn't burn like fire, we just let the tension go until the heart began to tire. I'm holding on to ghosts of the colors that we knew, while I'm watching every fiber drift away from me and you. It's a lonesome kind of ending, being pulled apart by thread, quietly unraveled in the things we never said. Tie a knot, please just pull me back before the spool is bare. Give me any kind of friction, any reason to still care. But the friction's gone to silk, and the silk has gone to mist, and I'm just a memory that ceased to even exist. Covered in gray, unravel at the ending of the day. There's nothing left to hold, the story's been unrolled. Just a single lonely string doesn't mean a thing. Quietly unravel. I'm sitting on the edge of the mattress where the light begins to die, watching the dust motes settle under a pale and heavy sky. I heard the click of the front door, a sound so sharp and thin, like a needle through the fabric of the life that we were in. I try to call your name, but the oxygen is spent. I'm tracing every outline of the places where you went. The house is getting smaller, or maybe to water, and the walls are turning gray, and I'm losing all the courage just to face another day. And I'm down to shallow breaths, leaning on the wall, trying to find the balance before I take the fall. My chest is made of iron, my lungs are made of lead. I'm choking on the echoes of the things we never said. It's a quiet kind of panic, a slow and steady theft, counting all the minutes of the little I've left. Yeah, the world is wide and open, but I'm gasping for the rest, just taking shallow breaths, with a hole inside my chest. I saw your favorite coffee mug still sitting by the sink. It's funny how a porcelain rim can make a person think that if I just stay still enough, if I don't move a muscle, I can hear you in the hallway, hear the fabric and the rustle. But the silence is a vacuum, and it's pulling at my soul, taking every part of me I tried to keep as whole. I'm a master of the almost, I'm a student of the gone, struggling to find the rhythm that can lead me to the dawn. 'Cause I'm down to shallow breaths, leaning on the wall, trying to find the balance before I take the fall. My chest is made of iron, my lungs are made of lead. I'm choking on the echoes of the things we never said. It's a quiet kind of panic, a slow and steady theft, counting all the minutes of the little I've left. Yeah, the world is wide and open, but I'm gasping for the rest, just taking shallow breaths, with a hole inside my chest. Inhale the maybe, exhale the no, but I can't find the spirit just to finally let you go. I'm treading the middle of a dark and frozen lake, waiting for the ice to finally give and finally break. Shallow breaths, shallow breaths, shallow breaths. I'm forgetting how it feels to breathe deep before I go to sleep. Just a little there, just a little there. Shallow, shallow. Total silence. I'm sitting in the chair where the sunlight hits the floor, watching your coat hang a little looser on the door. We're sharing a meal, but the table's grown wild. ask how you are, and you say you're okay, while you're looking at a world that's a million miles away. I reach for your hand, but I touch a cold ghost of the person in the mirror that I used to love the most. There's no sudden flicker, no blowing out the light, just a slow creeping shadow in the middle of the night. And I'm becoming slowly unseen, a blur in the frame. I'm shouting you're always, but you've forgotten my name. I'm a ghost in the kitchen, a smudge on the glass, watching the best of our history pass. You're looking right through me to a different scene, and I'm fading to nothing, slowly unseen. I saw you today in the garden out back, tracing the lines of a beautiful crack. You didn't even flinch when I walked through the gate, like I'm just a part of a masquerade. I'm practicing screams that never leave my throat, while you're busy buttoning your heavy winter coat. We're masterclass actors in a house made of mist. I'm starting to wonder if I even exist, 'cause I'm becoming slowly unseen, a blur in the frame. I'm shouting you're always, but you've forgotten my name. I'm a ghost in the kitchen, a smudge on the glass, watching the best of our history pass. You're looking right through me to a different scene. I'm fading to nothing, slowly unseen. Break a plate, throw a stone, give me any kind of bruise. Anything is better than having nothing left to lose. I'd rather be hated than be transparent and thin, searching for the place where the us used to begin. Slowly unseen. Am I slowly unseen? The background is swallowing the shape of my face. I'm just a hollow in an empty space. Can you see me? Slowly gone. clearing out the cupboard, moving stacks of heavy plates, trying not to stumble on the ghost of all our dates. I've rearranged the living room, I've painted every wall, I've walked 1,000 miles just to prove I didn't fall. The calendar is different and the seasons moved along. I finally found a rhythm and a brand new kind of song. But then I see a yellow car, or smell a certainty, and suddenly there's nothing left of only just me. I've built a fortress out of logic and of time, but the walls are made of paper that I can't seem to climb. And it's still somehow a heavy weight to bear. I'm reaching for a heartbeat that I know is never there. I'm a master of the moving on, a scholar of the fine, but I'm still tripping over every crooked, lonesome line. I've said a million goodbyes to the shadow in the hall, but I'm still somehow waiting for your call. I went to that Italian place, the one we used to love. I sat beneath the neon and the velvet sky above. I didn't order for you, and I didn't check the door. I didn't feel the hollow ache I used to feel before. But when the waitress brought the check, I almost said your name. It's a reflex in the marrow, it's a flickering of flame. I'm a book that's been rewritten, I'm a story that is new, but the ink is still a secret shade of everything was you. 'Cause it's still somehow a heavy weight to bear. I'm reaching for a heartbeat that I know is never there. I'm a master of the moving on, a scholar of the fine, but I'm still tripping over every crooked, lonesome line. I've said a million goodbyes to the shadow in the hall, but I'm still somehow waiting for your call. Is there a day when the gravity lets go, when the almost finally stops its steady, quiet flow? I'm tired of the better, and I'm tired of the brave. I'm just a lonely sailor on a half-remembered wave. avoiding the shadows that flicker and pass. There's no storm in the kitchen, no crack in the light, just a slow drifting cold in the middle of night. You're speaking in whispers, you're acting so kind, while you're leaving the pieces of us far behind. I thought that a breaking would sound like a roar, but it's just the soft click of a lock on the door. No jagged edges, no blood on the floor, just the weight of a world that isn't ours anymore. And it's a tender collapse, a quiet descent into the nothing of everything we meant. You're folding the memories like linen and lace, while you're scrubbing the always right off of your face. It's a beautiful ruin, a soft spoken end. I'm losing my lover, I'm losing my friend, drowning in kindness, falling through gaps in this slow, tender collapse. I saw your old notebook, the one with the plans for a house by the water and a life in our hands. Now the ink is just fading, the pages are thin, and I don't know the place where the over begins. You asked if I'm okay, and I told you a lie, with a polite little smile and a dry, heavy eye. We're masterclass actors in a play with no sound, just a slow, steady sinking to the cold, hard ground. 'Cause it's a tender collapse, quiet descent into the nothing of everything we meant. You're folding the memories like linen and lace, while you're scrubbing the always right off of your face. It's a beautiful ruin, a soft spoken quiet, broken. I'm still sleeping on the left side of the mattress, leaving a desert of white linen on the right. I haven't moved the book you marked on page 43. It's been sitting in the dust for 20 nights. I go to make the coffee and I reach for too much. Then I catch my own reflection in the chrome. It's funny how a hallway can feel like a canyon when you're the only heartbeat in a home. I'm measuring the silence in the kitchen. I'm counting every shadow on the floor. And oh, the space you left is wider than the ocean. It's a hollow kind of heavy in my chest. I'm wandering the rooms of a ghost of a life, trying to find a place for me to rest. Every corner is a trap, every doorway is a test, and I'm drowning in the almost and the used to be the best. Yeah, the world is moving on, but I'm obsessed with the space you left. I saw your sister at the market on a Tuesday. She looked at me like I was made of glass. I wanted to ask if you still take your tea with honey, but I let the moment and the memory pass. I found your old blue sweater tucked behind the dryer. It still smells like the perfume of a June. Now I'm wearing it like armor in the middle of the dark, howling at a cold and indifferent moon. 'Cause the space it's a hollow kind of heavy in my chest. I'm wandering looms of a ghost of a life, trying to find a place for me to rest. Every corner whisper in your name. The space you left, still filling it with light. The space you left behind my heavy, tired eyes. I'm learning how to live and the not enough in the jagged edges of the broken stuff. Just a home, just a ghost, the part of me I love the most. I thought I'd finally stitch the edges of the tear. I'd learn to breathe the static of the empty morning air. The armor that I built was heavy, cold and thick. I'd mastered every detour, every mental trick. But then I found your postcard tucked inside a sleeve of a jacket that I haven't had the courage just to leave. And the ink is like a needle and the paper is a blade, watching all the progress that I thought I'd finally made start to fade. It only takes a second, just a flicker, just a ghost, to bring me back to the version that I miss the most. And I'm undone again, back in the wreckage of the if and when. I'm picking up the splinters of a heart that I'd repaired, drowning in the memory of the way we both cared. I thought I was a mountain, I thought I was the sun, but I'm just a thread that's starting to run. Yeah, the knots have slipped and the walls are caving in, and I'm back at the place where the breaking begins. Undone again. I saw a stranger's shadow on the corner of the street, and for a heartbeat I forgot the taste of our defeat. I almost reached my hand out, I almost said your name. Then the cold reality put the never back in frame. It's a fragile kind of healing, it's a house made out of glass, waiting for the heavy hollow memories to pass. But they linger in the curtains, they're hiding in the hall, ready to remind me of the beauty of the fall. 'Cause I'm undone. begins. Undone again. Is there an end to the cycle? Is there a final goodbye? Or am I just a bird that's forgotten how to fly? Every time I stand up, every time I try to run, the ghost of you is waiting just to see me get undone. Just a loose end, just a broken friend, undone, total silence. Standing in the kitchen, but I can't find the light. The floorboards are colder than I remember last night. I found your coffee mug, the one with the crack, still sitting on the counter like you're coming right back. But the air has grown heavy, the silence is wide, like a secret we kept that finally died. I'm tracing the dust where your keys used to lay, in a house that feels more like a graveyard today. We didn't go out with a bang or a spark, we just let the shadows take over the dark. And I'm standing right here at the point of the break, searching for the pieces of the hearts we didn't take. It wasn't a mountain, it wasn't a sea, just the quietest distance between you and me. The map on the wall is a story of them, but I can't find the road to that version again. I'm looking for us, but the light has been banished. I'm stuck at the crossroads where we vanished. I saw your old sweater on the back of the chair. It's losing the scent of the way you'd be there. I almost reached out to tell you a joke, then I remembered the moment we broke. The garden is overgrown, the roses are white, but they look more like ghosts in the middle of night. We're still in the picture wasn't a scene, just the quietest distance between you and me. The map on the wall is a story of them, but I can't find the road to that version again. I'm looking for us, but the light has been banished. I'm stuck at the crossroads where we vanished. Did we fall through the cracks? Did we drift with the tide? Or did we just run out of places to hide? I'd give anything for a scream or a fight, just to know that we're still in the world tonight. Where we vanished, I'm still here. Where we vanished, full of fear. The house is still standing, the lights are still on, but I'm already a ghost. Now that we're gone,